there's a stock radio, and I'm talking into the microphone pretty close, pretty quiet. I talk a little louder and stronger, or I can talk quieter. Usually talking quietly. How about quietly? Usually talking quietly into the microphone and really close to it. It's going to yield the best response. If you talk loud and excited and weird, it's going to get kind of loud and excited and weird. So anyway, there's the stock mic, the best I can make it sound. Now this radio is keying about 4 watts, just a little bit over 4 watts, and it is pinching off on the carrier. Here's the scope. Hello, you can see it pretty badly pinching off on audio peaks. But that's the way most people run their stuff anyway. So that's what it looks like. And it would be even quieter if I didn't pinch it off. If I talk a little farther away, hello, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now the positive peaks are not as often, so the average percentage of modulation is less, so it's quieter. But there it is, it's just so cleaner. But anyway, and then on the watt meter, there it is at the same level on the watt meter right there. So dead key in 4, swinging about 5.5. Hello, check. Or you can really talk into it strong and get it to peak out about 10 watts. But then it's pinching again. There's the pinch. All right, so now we're going to go to a real radio. We're going to move off of this thing here, and we're going to go to the Hobby Dave Radio Broadcasting Network stuff. Radio station. Motormouth Mall, your West Coast. Under modulated beast. Got down right there. Breaker. Okay.
Okay, Hobby Dave. This is your radio, a real radio, the Hobby Dave Broadcasting Network radio. And we're going to show it on the scope, and we're also going to show it on the watt meter here, and you can see what it looks like and how it sounds in comparison to the other one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move the phone over from the watt meter over to the scope. Hello, test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can see it's no longer pinching off. You can hear the wider, bigger, fatter sound. You can hear all the nuances. You can change the audio a little bit if you want. If you want to roll the bass down or turn the reverb down or change anything in any way, shape, or form, you can do that as we're running all this processing on audio, Live Professor. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you Live Professor, and we'll scroll down the various different plugins. So we're going to start at the top here. I've got a couple that I use twice. I kind of like doing this. But anyway, so here goes. I'm going to start at the top. We have an isotope alloy. And a lot of people might like this video just for the sake of nothing more than just what does it take to make this sound. And so this is isotope alloy. And we're using a few components in isotope alloy. We've got the equalizer, which we're using to roll off. Oh, let me say okay to this. Okay, there we go. So we're using the equalizer to roll off a lot of the bottom end on the BM800. And then we've got the dynamics control as a single band dynamics. It's real simple, roughly about a 1.7 to 1 compression. We've got the de-esser doing its thing on extreme highs, sibilance. So it sounds pretty good. And then we've got a limiter in line. Okay, so we're barely using the limiter. But anyway, we got the limiter in line. And now the next process down below that, let's scroll down here a little bit. Mouse, where are you? There you are. So we're going to scroll down. The next thing you see is an exciter. Okay, now there is an exciter in isotope alloy, but I'm not using it. I'm using this exciter over here. And I've got it set roughly about, I don't know, kind of heavy on the bottom end and a little lighter on the top end. And then we have a brick wall limiter. It's a red fat. You can see the red fat limiter. Hello, test. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the red fat limiter in the background. And then below that, we'll keep on going. We have a reverb. And the reverb I like is this black water reverb. And it works really well. I don't have it set too aggressive or too wild. And then below the black water reverb, below the black water reverb is another instance of isotope alloy. And there I'm using an EQ yet again. Now you can see I've got the, I started with the DJ bass warmer setting. It was a default setting, and then I think I might have made some changes to it. But there it is on screen. And now what I'm going to do is show you, I've got the exciter in line. The equalizer. And then we've got a little bit of boost on the deep bass, a little bit of a flattening on the high end or shelving. And then we've got the exciter, and the exciter is being used in this case a little bit. You see that red activity, that's the exciter doing its thing. And then the dynamics, there's the dynamics. There's a 3-band compressor at about 2.5 to 1. And then we have a limiter again. And the limiter here is set in brick wall mode, and we're using quite a bit of it. And that's the processing that's being used. If anyone wants to duplicate that, they're welcome to. But anyway, that's the processing, and that's with the BM800 microphone. Now, I'm not going to go through that whole thing with the RE27. It's basically the same, just a few EQ settings that are different. But we are going to switch to the RE27. Sorry, not a 27. You have a 27. I have a 20. I have this guy right here. So I'm going to switch over to this, and we'll see what happens. So here's a dead carrier for a second. Okay, there's the RA27. Now, it needs more audio. All right, it's got the audio turned and set right now for the BM800. So take a look at the scope. Oh, first the watt meter. Okay, you'll see it's still keying down 2.5 watts. But you'll see it's undermodulated. It's not anywhere near modulated. So I'm going to reach on the back of the radio, and on the back of the radio is the final audio control. And that's right over here. I'm going to turn that up a little bit here so we can get that pinch off closer and get that thing back up to 100% negative peaks. And that raises the audio back up to where you want it to be. So there you go. That's the RE27 right here on your radio. Sorry, RE20. I keep saying 27 because you have a 27. Anyway, this is a 20. And, yeah, it sounds pretty doggone good. Ain't no doubt about that. And then back to the watt meter view again so you can see how it's doing. And then we'll go back to a stock radio with the stock microphone. Here goes with a little bit of pinch off. Trying to give it that little extra punch that everybody tries to get when they go to the peak and tweak chops. So here goes.
Okay, we're back on the stock microphone, stock configuration. Hello, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is the pitching. Here now, for some reason it's not strong. I got to move the radio. You know, it's funny. They're both going into a dummy load, but the signal strength, I guess, because of the length of the coax, is different. So I'm going to move the radio around a little. I'll try it plugged in a different spot here. All right, that's a little louder. Anyway, I guess depending on where I plug the radio in, I get different signal strength. The power output's the same, but the amount that gets to the SDR radio at the other side of the room is different. Anyway, so there's the scope view of the stock radio, and that's what most stock radios look like if they've got the limiter clipped. I don't like to see that pinch off, but if you back off the mic again to get the pinch off out of there, your positive peaks are not going to be as high, and the average percentage is not going to be as great. So it's always best to leave a limiter in the radio, so you can leave this particular loudness. I guarantee if a person left the radio alone, stock, left the limiter in the radio, it would be just as loud as it is right now. It may not move the watt meter as much, but it would be just as loud. And I wish this thing had a limiter in it, but it doesn't. Anyway, there you go. Now go back to your radio again.
All right, back to your radio again on the RA20 microphone, and man, what a difference, night and day. All right, sounds good. I might have a little bit too much bass on here. Maybe I'm talking a little bit too close to it. I don't have a pop filter in front of it. It's just the microphone. So if I back off a little bit, there's about, 6 inches away from the microphone right there. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's right up on top of the microphone. Gets a little rumbly. So there's back about 6 inches. And now I'm going to switch back over to the BM800, and then we'll end the test. Anyway, that's that. Let me switch over. Throw a dead carrier for a second. Sorry about that. Okay, this is the BM800 microphone with the default, I just called it Hobby Dave default session file. So there it is, right there, right now. I'm not sure which one you're going to like better. This one seems to work pretty doggone well. I can turn the audio. Oh, let me show you one more thing here. I want to show you the positive peaks. If I turn the positive peaks down, you'll see 100% modulation right there. Hello, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 100%. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn the positive peaks up right there. And about halfway open is about maxed. I don't know what happens if you go all the way. That's all the way right there. It's ridiculous. But anyway, there's positive peaks through the roof. Hello, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back down to 100% modulation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hobby Dave, radio station Motormouth Mall, your West Coast beast, working a real radio. Got down right there, breaker.